Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. Sounds whisper. Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. Sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. Sounds poor people gonna rise up, get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's there.
Hashtag Scouts Megaphone on Sunday Night Live. And carry on regardless. Thanks for joining me. Hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man at One Misty on Twitter. Sunday Night Live. Sent my last video on to government. Still heard nothing from the government. Still dealing with the froth of Brexit. Not getting on with their day jobs. And I've got an amazing announcement to make with all you Facebook viewers tonight, because this is real. Social services and the government, our children, parents being alienated, grandparents being alienated, our children are angry in schools, teachers are scared to go to work, social services are losing control of all the kids for a reason, to be targeting them later, because these are failed looked after children. The government don't care about statistics of the 40% leaving care failed. They don't care. And I've been touching on this for quite a while now on my Facebook Lives regarding the looked after child being failed. Because I was once a failed looked after child. I was brought up through the establishment of Lower Lee boarding school child abuse back in the day. Got no justice. We're slowly forming a group to take that local authority to court on that. Obviously, because it's all come to light on the rules and regulations of what they can and can't do from them nicking my child. Failed looked after child, targeted later by social workers, tarred with the same brush as everybody else, all you lot. And they got a reaction off you lot, and they never got a reaction off me, hence why my council would like to pay me a considerable amount of money of the taxpayers, the funding in that council, to keep me quiet on social media. This is the chief executive of my council, a Thurrock council. My MP gives me no voice. I know why my MP doesn't give me no voice, because I've touched on something. We was thanks a lot again tonight, babes, for doing these messages and that. Thanks a lot for everybody that stood by me the last week, 2 weeks and 3 weeks. It's been heavy going, this campaigning to give children a voice. I'm gonna go at it, and I'd like to say thanks and my hat off to everybody that does see I am real. And I'm not waiting for social services. I'm not on the social services payroll, so I carry on regardless. But again, I want to touch on professional avoidance within these councils up and down the country. It's professional avoidance, and professional avoidance in these councils, it should be made a criminal offence, because children are being failed systematically up and down this country at the hands of the councils. And then what you've got to do is complain to a work engine, which is the councillors, to answer and deal with scrutiny within that council. And you've got to expect them to deal with it themselves. So it's not transparent and it's not accountable. I only want to touch on it, babes, because I want you to be. I've asked my missus to be part of Facebook tonight, and she's just reluctant to go on the camera.
I haven't got my makeup on. I'm not going on camera with no makeup on.
So it's a shame, really. But babes, you might want to touch on it, you know, because like we was having a chat today, me and Cheryl. We've had loads of family time, me, missus, kids. teaching my kids how to make Yorkshire puddings, all the rest of it I've been doing this weekend. It's been fantastic. And me and my missus was having a chat, Cheryl was having a chat, and it was like, if you go to university and you drop out during that university, you're frowned upon in a really bad way by all the others. Oh, he's a dropout, he's a dropout.
Yep.
Right? The do-gooders in school who always got, oh yeah, you can pick all your friends, you know what I mean? Them type of kids. And they go off to private school, they go off to uni and they're a success and they work for the establishment somewhere or another, whether it be the police, doctors, nurses, elaborate, love.
Solicitors, barristers, judges,
Right.
any kind of up there profession.
Well, you've got another degree, so you go to private school and all that, you have your degree and you get right up there. They look after you.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
all the people, all the time, I've been doing this for 5 years. Not one person from who's works within the establishment has contacted me, whether it be a council worker, a police officer, a social worker, a nurse, a doctor,
Anyone.
a barrister, a judge. Not one of them, MP, councillor, not one of them have contacted me and said, I've had my child stolen by social services. And all these people have probably got degrees where they've been through uni.
Yep.
Right? These same very people where you get sent to be assessed, whether it be mother and baby unit, whether it be contact centre,
Residential assessments.
residential assessments, psychological assessments, they've all been to uni. Now, if a child leaves care and it gets up there, he's a fostered child.
He's only here because his foster carers put him through.
And this is how it is. And I do believe that the government and social services are
Class cleansing.
class cleansing. As in, they'll target those people. And we might live on a council estate. We might well do. But I'm your voice, people. And I do believe social services class cleanse in the UK. Up and down this country, social services class cleanse. If you've got a degree, you're fine.
Yep.
You're fine. You went to normal school and you're a bus driver or you're a scaffolder. They had no reason to steal my baby, government. Your social services class cleansing. And when the universal starts kicking in properly, like I've raised many concerns on my live regarding this universal credit. You're giving them an uphill fight from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And social services, they're in there straight away. You know? I'll sit there and I'll think, £14 billion has been taken out of the universal credit. It's gone from the tax credit to the universal credit. £14 billion taken out. That's a lot of money. It's not even, the universal credit isn't working. And they want to roll it out right across the country. Pushing you all into privatisation of private landlords. Making private landlords give out longer tenancies. Telling you. And social services are coming in because the universal credit is messing about. People losing their homes. Social services are in there. Taking more children. It's going on in the UK today. It's called class cleansing.
Yep.
Don't care what anybody says. If you've got a degree, you're fine. You're fine. If you're a scaffolder like me and do 13 winters on the scaffold, 6 days a week, you don't matter. You generate money. You create jobs for these people that leave university. Because you've got to go and use all the voluntary services. You've got to go along with the social services. The havoc they cause in families. And who gets the wrong end of the stick? The police. £19.6 million. The police's budget. Is Theresa May seriously having a laugh? And there's only one reason why I shout for the police. Children need a protector. And I'll take my hat off to the paedophile hunters, the children's bounty hunter. If I ever come into money, I would fund you guys. I would fund you, the love of my heart, I'd fund you. Give you what you needed, what you want. That's what I'd do for you, paedophile hunters. Because you're the children's bounty hunter. And I'm their voice and I love you. I'm so happy to read that you're going to be working with one of the police forces. Absolute fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Well, that is a guy that should be on £198,000 a year. Not as chief executive in a local council, cutting and pasting. Because that's what they get. That's what they get. MP in Parliament, I'm not going to name her, Conservative, she knows who she is. Thinks she's a bit of cut above everybody else. Had social services involvement. All of a sudden, nothing. The McCanns, operations they did in hospital or whatever they did as doctors or whatever they did, right, for the NHS. Degrees, went through it properly, left alone. They've still got 2 children. They still get more money off government. What about my child? My child was stolen on future risk of home government. Why aren't I having any money? Just saying. I'll take my hat off to you, Kaylee Marie Morgan, Donna, Electroshock. Love you both. Love you both. Get your questions coming in. Any part of social care you want me to touch on, I'll say how it is to the government because I am your voice. Forced adoption in this country goes on. And hashtag Scouse Megaphone Man classes it as class cleansing. Tongue twister there. And at the highest level. At the highest level. And I'll sit here every week in, week out, slating the social services practice. Because I've actually got solutions that the government don't want to listen to. Because you've got cameras on our traffic wardens, cameras on our police forces. Why can't we have them on the social workers? To give a transparent outlook on the family. This is how the family speak to social workers. This is what the home's like. All that footage could be sold from an independent company to the barristers. And that money could be used for the therapy. For them losing their child. That's what could be happening with this footage. If an independent company took it on. You know? Because this government, they say, oh, social care is not for profit. And when you look right across the board, it is. Great big massive adoption agencies in London. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm telling you, it's one thing if you're rich and it's one thing if you're poor in this country.
Yeah.
It is. Because you're at the hands of the social services and it's only going to be a matter of time before they start linking up with you. And if you haven't got a degree, uni, doing it properly, you're in trouble. I'll see you as a target, especially if you're a looked after child. You're a target because it's systematic. The style, the cutting and pasting, the rushing it. They're not making it 26 weeks, saying what they want, not being held to account, ripping families apart. And who suffers? The children of the UK and worldwide. Do you know? I call for GPS in our children, for children's mental health government. We should be doing it. All you leaders around the world, we should be doing it. Another child wouldn't go missing. The police resources would be fantastic. I don't get it. Alzheimer's, GPS, these people. Do you know? Put the money back into the NHS. I'll do it. I'll GPS my kids. Right up until they was 15, 16, and they could say, Dad, I want to take it out. Let's do it then. Government is saying, oh, what are we going to do about the youngsters? The police are saying, we're sick of this. The police are sick of tired, running around, getting mouthed at, probably things thrown at them, the piss taken out of them, the government squeezing their budget. Eventually, what are we going to have? Because class cleansing in this country is going on. It is. They had no damn right to come into my life. No right whatsoever. My missus was mugged in the street over 200 yards away from my home. That was an excuse for social workers to come in, make an emergency threshold statement and steal my child.
On the basis that, brackets, we didn't safeguard the baby in your stomach when you're getting kicked by 3 blokes. I'd like to know how that works on future risk of harm.
And future risk of harm? These councils are putting paedophiles back in our community. They want to talk future risk of harm, Theresa May. I watched her this morning on Andrew Marr. She don't like it, mate, when them questions are coming at her.
Especially
She's
about
not
social
ready.
care.
Especially about social care, you're right, Cheryl, yeah. When they're all up there in Manchester, I know I'm on their minds. And I know Jackie Dole-Price MP, if you're watching tonight. You cringe when you meet up with your parliamentary friends. I know you do, Jackie Dole-Price. You brought your party into disrepute. You should be ashamed of yourself. And this MP,
Yep, you can see it.
Centre for Forced Adoption gives no child a voice. She was in my local gazette, shouting on about care. She don't care about nobody. And she's sworn into her position, and still to this day, my videos and my lives are not a concern. What does that say to you people? The council, Thurrock Council, perjured themselves and nicked my child. They went back to court to defend their perjury and tried to adopt my child. It did not work. Why is that not a concern to Jackie Dole-Price MP?
She's part of class cleansing.
Part of class cleansing. If I went to uni, then that would be great, Jack. Yeah, come in. And I do believe this. Let me take it. Touch on it, babe. Grenfell Tower.
Well, now, excuse me, my point on this is, or our point on this is, shall we say, is that a while ago, a few years ago, there was a private helicopter flying around London, and it crashed into one of the cranes on top of the buildings in one of the posh parts of London. And
Helicopter.
yeah, and
Vauxhall.
that was it.
Hit the crane. Crane came down. Fire all
The crane
down.
was half down, wasn't it? There was a fire.
Fire all
They
over.
blocked the street off, they emptied the buildings, they emptied the offices. Get out, you're in danger, come on, everybody la-di-da, out with your pets.
Everybody ran to aid. All the services ran to aid. Right?
Now,
Let me tell you something. Vauxhall down at Nine Elms is full of penthouse flats. New builds, all going up. Yeah? Now, a few years back you had Hatton Gardens saved. Oh, Hatton Gardens, yeah, this is where we put all our luxuries and stuffs and all our rooms. It's not no more. It's penthouse flats down at Nine Elms. That's where they put their money, all these millionaires. Trust me. Now, if one of them went up, what would happen? Ask yourself. And what about Grenfell Tower? Oh, what was the advice? Oh, go upstairs, oh, go up, go up. Slowly, it's worming around to the fucking police's fault. I'm thrust passion, I'm sorry. It always worms around to the police's fault. Who asked the police to turn up? The fire brigade did. Why can't you have your own helicopter? Why ask the police to turn up and then blame them? These people thought they was going to be saved. I'm just saying. Would of Nine Elms skyscraper, any one of them down there, would that have been treated the same as Grenfell Tower?
No.
I ask.
definitely not.
Is it because they've all been to uni down at Vauxhall, so let's all get down there and help them? It's the way it seems. Creating jobs for the snobs, to judge us people. Have your extortionate payday lender loans in your high street and all the rest of it, your cash generators, to keep you all suppressed and make you all be skinned. Use all our voluntary services. Build up a paper trail on you. So when there's pre-sentence reports, we'll pull it all up and then sentence you. Or you're going through the care system and the 26-week court process, they'll drag it all up and use it and adopt your child because of it. It's because you don't go uni.
I'd like to say, you've just reminded me of something.
I'm not talking about a home course doing uni and all that. I'm on about going off to go and do uni, Oxford, Cambridge, and doing it the way they would like you to do it. Because if you go to them places and you drop out, they look down on you as if to say, oh, drop out. He's a dropout, end up talking to him. And that's what they're like. They are their own elite. Like I'll say, it's not adult entertainment. To us, it's paedophilia, nonsense. To them, it's not. It's a different class. We're all human. Prison officers, police, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, and we're all human. I don't want a lawless society. I don't. I can handle it as a multicultural society. I can handle that. But if you commit a criminal offence in this country, like when you're in any other country, you're shipped out, mate. You're going home. Empty all our jails, send them home. And my idea with the paedophiles, why can't we be using them? Because I think we should have a UK vote on it. What we should be doing with the paedophiles, because councils up and down this country are putting the children I have a voice for at future risk of harm. The same very reason social services are stealing children. And the reason I say that is because you will always get a reaction, and the social services know that. You go and try and touch your dog's pups when it's just had them, it'll have you, mate. And I'll say how it is. I've been that foul looked after child, and nothing's going to hold me back. I'm resilient. I've not grieved from being foul looked after child. I've not grieved for having my daughter stolen off me by the state. I've not grieved for getting my son off his mum, suffering all forms of abuse to the extent I've had to get a psychiatric report done on him at the Priory, the damage it's done. I've still had no justice, no charges for the abusers on my son. I've still not grieved. And I'd like to say to you, government, why is that? I've not murdered anybody. I've not committed no offences. I've got control. I do believe that. And I've returned to my training because that's my release. My job used to be my release, scaffolding. But I can't do it no more. I've been off for too long. The damage it's done. My brain still wants to go scaffolding. My body won't let me. My brain, my nerves won't let me. Pisses me off to the hilt because I'm thrust passion. No matter what I do, I'm passionate about it, or I won't do it. I'm an all or nothing guy. And I'd like to say to your government, put yourself in my shoes. If the social workers don't get a reaction out of me, why leave it so long thinking that you're going to get one? Because you know. I don't need to get my hands dirty. I'm on the moral high ground. Your local council, Forest Council, stole my child. They targeted me because they thought I was a traveller. That's what they did. I'll take my hat off to every traveller that's down at Tesco's at Lakeside. How you doing, Forest Council? I hope you're happy you logged on to see me again tonight. Hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man. They targeted me because they thought I was a traveller. And I can prove this shit. Because of thrust passion for change for children. That 5-year-old child looks at me. That 13-year-old child looks at me. That 15-year-old child down in Devon looks at me. Go on, Skies. All them boys in prison that watch me religiously, 9 o'clock every week. Mr. Liddington, you haven't got a grip. The Justice Secretary. My hat off to all you boys behind the door. Love you loads. And I'll just think, if the government took all the paedophiles and sent all the foreigners home who were in prison and took all the paedophiles out, maybe all you boys in prison would get some therapy and you wouldn't be banged up 23 hours a day. I love you all. It's the way it is, it's life. You might have done wrong, but come on. The government, class cleansing, creating jobs. It's crazy. Absolute crazy. And who suffers? You've got grandparents screaming to be fucking heard. I'm sorry. And it breaks my heart. Sheila Phillips, take my hat off to you. Kate Hibbin, I'll take my hat off to you. I've got to say this. Georgie in Ireland, I'll take my hat off to you. Do you know? I like these people. But I feel sorry for the grandparents. Stigmatised on viability assessments. They don't even get a look in. As their grandchildren. These grandparents grieve twice. Reason being, they've got to see their daughter or their son go through it and help them cope. At the same time, they've got to be knocked back by a social worker on a viability assessment. And they've got to grieve again. It's ruthless. And who suffers? The child that loves that nan, because that nan showed her how to make fairy cakes. It's crazy. How to roll a bit of pastry. This child's grieving for nan. I want to help nan chop the roast, for the roast, you know, the carrots, the potatoes. Kids love doing this stuff. Holding the next potato to be peeled. They love doing this stuff. And social services, when they get involved, they've got no heart. And it is class cleansing from the minute they walk through your door. Oh, no, don't want to sit down. No, thanks, don't want to drink. Judging you before they've even got to your front door. Because of all the voluntary services, that's give them the information about you. So they've got a great picture on you before they've met you. And they call it a MASH meeting and all that. You've got the health visitor turns up, the police turns up, the social worker turns up, midwife turns up, or they all turn up and have a meeting about you. Oh, what have you got then? Oh, I'm the housing association, I've got a concern because of nuisance complaints. Oh, well, I'm the council, they haven't been paying their rent. And this is what goes on behind your back before the social worker meets you. Trust me. If I was on the social services payroll, I wouldn't be telling you this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I urge all you people that are together and you're going through it, stick to each other like glue. I mean it. Go every meeting together. Do not be separated regarding anything to do with social workers. And please do engage. And if you get professionally avoided, make it show on your paper. Because it's your child. Please don't give them a reaction. You know, I'm your voice, and government one day will listen. They will listen. Because I don't care what anybody says. This is class cleansing at the very highest level. It creates jobs for the snobs right across the board. Because once you lose control, you start going out of control. You start smashing up your home, or you start going out on a bender, you're smashing up parts of the street and you're getting in fights and the police are cleaning it all up and you're down in the hospital getting sewn up because you got in a fight. And mate, it's creating so many jobs for all these people that leave uni. Why do you think these politicians are protecting the unis? It's unbelievable. Universal credit going in well late, 6, 7, 8 weeks. Still no money. Private landlord, where's my money, where's my money? Right, seeking possession. This is what's going on. Here's your letter when the bailiff turns up. Go to the council. Oh, you got kids, all right. We'll give you a key worker. Here's your social worker. Why did you get evicted? Non-payment of rent. You made yourself voluntarily homeless, so now it's a concern for the social workers. This is what's going on because of universal credit. Theresa May, when are you going to get a grip of it? When are you going to get a grip of it? Katrina Collier, thanks for joining us tonight. They're full of crap. They don't care about us paying people. And they don't, Katrina, they don't care because you are being classed by the government and social services. You're a walking wallet and an ant to the Queen. That's what we are, people. The same very people that put them in the position they're in today. They don't care about you or your child. The only thing they care about is themselves, looking after their own elite. Trust me, all the way to the top. Thanks, Katrina. Kaz, hi bro, hi Shez. Thanks a lot, Kaz, and you, Jamie. Donna, I'll become an MP and I'll put 25 grand back into the community. Donna, electric shock. I'll take my hat off to you and I'm going to meet you soon. Because I'm up north to see my sister. You're right, Donna. And if I was to have got in as a councillor, I think I would have probably opened a charity shop. And that charity shop would have replenished the contact centre local to it with new toys for the kids. That's what I would have done with my council money, Donna. Well, that was my plan, which was to open a charity shop with my council money. If I was elected, I was going to open a charity shop, and all the money I earned out of that charity shop, I was going to give it to my local contact centre to replenish it with toys whenever it needed them, which is still my plan. When I get up there and finish with the Misty case. Thanks a lot for that, Donna. Donna, what the fuck are you serious?
That was about me being mugged and them saying we weren't protecting.
Yeah, when they come into our life because Cheryl got mugged 200 yards from our home, and they said she was she was failed to protect her unborn baby. She got attacked from behind. So 6 months later, or 4 or 5 months later, they came back into our life when Cheryl had the baby and said, you can't go back to your flat, you've got to stay in the hospital, your flat's too unsafe. That's what they did in the Misty Barnes case. Donna, 8 times in 7 years children got mentioned the House of Commons. What the fuck? And it is, when you look on the House of Commons, on the Parliament channel, I watch it religiously. Now, when you look on it and there's any children's debates or anything like that, there's only a few there, about 10, 15 the most, 15. And it annoys the life out of me, because if children's safety is paramount, why are children being failed systematically up and down this country? The J report of Rotherham, 27 professionals refused to answer questions in the J report. 27 professionals in the Rotherham inquiry. Wild systematic failures. That's why I shout #Scouse Megaphone Man. Professional avoidance should be a criminal offence. And if children's safety is paramount, why are these professionals avoiding questions regarding the J report? Why is that? Theresa May, why is that? Borough Council. They watch my lives and they know full well, after the Misty Barnes case is finished with them in court, I'm going to seek to remove the council's children. Now listen. I can prove my local council committed perjury and stole my child. They've failed one child. They defamated my character. Now, when I deal with the Misty Barnes case, I'm going to take my local council with a threshold statement I've done myself and my missus, and I'm going to go to the family court to seek to remove the council's children. Thurrock councils. Now, Thurrock Council watch my lives and they know this. And now do you want me to tell you what Thurrock Council are doing? Pushing their children out of their care system to somewhere else. That's what Thurrock Council are doing. They're getting rid of all their looked after children. So, I'll tell you, Thurrock Council, I'm still going to take you to the family court regarding your social care. It's not fit for practice. And I'm going to prove that fact. Unbelievable. And I'll say to you, government, why can't I be in your social services being watching the Watchmen? Why can't I do that? If you're not class cleansing, why can't I do that? Because it seems to me that no one ever contacts me I'm not saying that nobody's of good character, but nobody contacts me of utmost good character. i.e. in terms of I've gone to uni and I've done well for myself and I'm a doctor and I've had my child stolen, or I do operations, you know, I'm superintendent down at the police force and I've had my children stolen.
I'm Judge blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm Judge blah blah blah, I've had my child. MP Mr Gove, I've had my child stolen because I left it in a hotel and went off boogieing on down in the club. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just say something on that?
Of course you can, babe. The floor's yours, show us how you dance.
No one wants to see that, trust me.
Shake what your mother gives you.
You throw me off now. With the Michael Gove thing, when you look at it right, when we go through social services, it takes one small little tiny thing and they're in there, and then you've got all, however old you are.
You can take the minutest referral by a voluntary service, they're in there. Pre-birth assessment, boom, they're in there before it's born. Sorry.
Yeah, and then, that's alright, and then what you get is, oh, well, you're 38 for example, right, we're going to trawl 38 years of your life and we're going to see what dirt we can dish up. Now, David Cameron, he left, I know it's the old one, what everyone says, but he left his kid in the pub. Now, can you imagine if he'd got into social care? Can you imagine all the stuff they would have dragged up about him? But he's still a good character. He used to take drugs. Still a good character.
Do you know who I'd like to ask a question, babe?
Go on.
He's an activist from Labour. John Landsman. John Landsman.
Momentum.
Yeah. I'd like to ask him what he thinks of the Misty Barnes case. John Landsman, what do you think of the Misty Barnes case? Because all this Brexit, it affects me, babes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It affects me. The European human rights. We come out of the Misty Barnes case and I shouted about my human right being violated. And the reason I couldn't speak for a year was because the social services put me on a year's supervision order. When I come out of court, you have to apply for your human rights within a year. I was on a supervision order for a year. And now you've got Theresa May saying, oh no, what we'll do is, no, not the Human Court Bill of Rights, what we'll do is we'll have a British Bill of Rights. Anything that goes on in this country, yeah, we can answer to our country, our own courts. And I'm not going to sit here and say our courts are corrupt, because they're not. I'll take that off to Judge Lynn Roberts, Judge Mumby, Judge Wallard, Judge Hodges. I'll take that off to these judges. And it's holding up Brexit, all this. People are getting sick of it. Sick of it. And where's my human right? It's ignored. Mr. Landsman, what do you think? Theresa May, will I be heard? Because I think you should stand down, Theresa May. I'm going to send you this again on Twitter, directly to Parliament and Number 10, like I do all the other videos, because my bark is worse than my bite. And I'll be here week in, week out. Nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to hold me back. I shouldn't say this, but I think I found Jesus in my own way. I'm not a freak, in my own way. And I'm glad I've got control, because I'm not going to fail them children. I'm not going to fail your children having a voice. The failed, looked after child. And we need to unite, and unite properly on this forced adoption, parents being alienated. Because these children, I've been that child screaming to see his dad, whinging to see his dad. Shut up. Your dad's dead. Your dad's run away. Whatever I was told. It's disturbing for me. I want to see my dad. I want to see my mum. And if this child's in the care system, oh my God. The only person it knows is the social worker. And once it's dropped off by the social worker, whether it be a care home or a foster parent, who they're not connected with, or there's no connection with, they just drop it off. This child grieves at bedtime. And it sobs into the pillow so it can't be heard. And I'd done this from the age of 5. And all I wanted was my mum or my dad. I knew my dad was violent, but I still wanted my dad. I didn't want to be where I was as a 5-year-old child. And when I woke up in the morning, I was an angry child. I used to wreck the house. The foster parent didn't want me no more. Went on to another one. Done the same. Getting up early in the morning, messing in the house, waking everybody up. They didn't want me no more. Went to a boarding school. Abused kingdom coming back. No justice. I leave the care system. Fucked up. With a cannabis problem. I moved down south. Go clubbing. Find a job by the time I'm the age of 26 that I really, really want to do. Scaffolding. Started painting fittings in the shed. I learned to cope with my childhood. I got my hypnotherapy. I learned to cope with it. And social services target me again as a failed looked after child. I asked the Cheshire Authority, can I have all my files from when I was a looked after child when I was a kid? Oh, we can't find them. We haven't got them. The same very files they went into to try and adopt my child. All of a sudden now I'm asking for them. We haven't got them. Because I think I can prove the social worker who stole and tried to adopt my child was my social worker when I was a child. The same very social worker who left my son to suffer all forms of abuse stole my daughter on future risk of harm, saying I was a violent armed robber and a terrorist. And the government want to protect this social worker. Why are they immune? Section 71 of prosecution. I ask you, government, because that's what it seems. The HCP is not holding social workers to account. That's not accountability.
Cleansing. That's what it is.
There's got to be better ways to earn money in this country. Create jobs in this country. There's got to be better ways. It's your children. I'm your voice. We need to share this shit. I'm not challenged on my videos. They ask for me to be gagged by offering me money. Mark Council, the chief executive of the council, shared emails, I can prove it, in the past in my lives. Spending the council's budget. What's the accountability in that? I bet there is none. Oh, do that for us, I'll buy coffee all week. That's what goes on in the councils.
Witness first hand.
Exactly. Oh, my cousin could do that. My niece could do that job, little receptionist. Oh, I'll get my niece to do that job. That's what goes on in our councils. And when you phone up your council, you'll get messed about when you're on the switchboard. You'll get treated as a joke. You'll get cut off after being held on for 45 minutes. They'll cut you off. They'll put you through to the wrong person. And then when you finally get through to the right department where you want to get through to, the professionals in the meeting on annual leave, not well, out the office, professional avoidance, that's what you get in all these 26-week court processes, what you are in, or have been through. This is what goes on with the social workers. Where's accountability? Of course they won't want to put cameras on social workers. They don't want to do that.
Does it prove what lies they tell?
Do you want to keep jobs coming in? Why do you think there's targets to meet? Targets for adoptions, long-term fostering. Just saying. Creating jobs for the snobs. Creates jobs. Turns the economy wheel. Trust me. British Bill of Rights. Well, I got a fair trial under the Magna Carta. My human rights have been violated. I never took action. I couldn't take action within a year because I was on a supervision order. So where does that leave me? Just saying, Theresa May. We're in a housing crisis in the country. A housing crisis. What did the government want to do? Build a train track. Go through that village, don't matter. No, stop that, we'll go through the village, don't worry about it. That's what it does.
Do you think the people that get made homeless will have social services on them?
So all them people that come out of uni can get up and down the country fast. It's not for us, you. It's for them. Let's build another runway. It's for them. Business flights. Let's go here, let's go there. Your money. I'm telling you people, this government are not skint. You have a Colchester, and you have a Colchester over in France. Oh, we've got a twin town, we've got to send money over there. That's what this government do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. PFI contracts. We talk about it on my Facebook Lives. Failed PFI contracts. All of a sudden you see it on the news, and then you see Labour jumping on it. Oh yeah, PFI. Unbelievable. And no government are watching me. But you know what? There's a famous old saying in copying someone in the bed. What is it?
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Best form of flattery. People want to copy me. I'm chuffed. I'll do that. And I'll do. I'll say what I've got to say and that's it. And I'll tell you people, all you Facebook people, all the time you're explaining you're losing. So when you engage with these professionals, have that in mind. Don't blow off the handle. Don't frown. Don't show them no emotion. Get copies of the minutes of the meetings. It's your child. My heart goes out to every single one of you. And I am so sorry to anybody that feels offended if I don't share their children's posts on my wall or anywhere else. And the reason I don't do that is because I need to keep the moral high ground for you. Because I do this for you, for change, for me, therapy. A combated social care is a successful therapy for me. Hashtag Scouse Megaphone Man. Because it's the old people that suffer as well. Okay. No one's going to hold me back. And the government, one day, have got to listen. They've got to listen. I'll take my hat off to anybody that has lost their child for forced adoption. And they're coping. Because it's a feeling you can't describe. And I've done some things in my life. I've done skydiving, I've done martial arts, I've done a lot of things. I've done chauffeuring, you know. I've done a lot of things in my life and seen a lot of things. I've been a male model, you know. I've done it. And it's hard out there. It's hard out there. And when you're being targeted by social workers and you're struggling to pay your bills and you're behind in your rent, my heart's with you, because it's the government squeezing you so tight. And it makes me feel like we're being class cleansed by our government. And slowly but surely, Thurrock has become an influx of East London. Everybody's moved out of East London into Essex. And that's the way it seems. It seems like part of the suppression. And I think social services break laws in this country constantly and systematically, blatantly, and lie. And they get away with it. They get away with it in your cases, and your child's gone for adoption. Well, you're still going through the process. Your boyfriend's been labelled as for an anger problem, a personality disorder. He's a drug user. They've divided you. Now he's out the way, we're going to work on you. We're putting you in above mother and baby unit. We're going to assess you. She's away from her family network and you want to assess her. You're taking a fish out of water, putting it in a bowl and then assessing it.
I'm going to speak on that bit actually, because when you're a couple and you're going through this, I can only speak on our own, obviously, experience now. When we was going through it, the feeling that you're getting, like Jack said, is an unexplainable feeling.
Immense anger, shaking,
longing,
sweating,
everything. And that closeness you get to your partner, because there's no one else in the world, they could have gone through it 1,000 times. No one will feel the way you're feeling, except the person who helped you make that child. If you're still with them at that time, the closeness and the connection you two have is amazing. And when they pull you away, I was physically kidnapped and put into a taxi, physically manhandled into a taxi with my child and put into a woman's refuge. Jack was told where it was, then he was shoved down a different side of the hospital and I was taken. The feeling you get, or I got, of loneliness, of fear, of...
Cheryl was forcibly taken from the hospital, manhandled by the security, while I was sitting out the front of the hospital waiting, that she was manhandled out the back of the hospital, bundled into a taxi and whisked off to a refuge. That's what they did with my missus. And they told the refuge, my missus was fleeing domestic violence from hospital. And when she got to the refuge, she said, no, I've come out of hospital because I've had a baby, not because I've been beaten up by my boyfriend. So the refuge phoned up the social worker and said, she can't stay here. You've put her in this refuge under false pretences. We're not equipped for babies. Hence why we had to leave the refuge. And when we left the refuge, the social worker phoned the police and said, we want a welfare check on Mr. Barnes, he's left the refuge.
No, he's fled the
He's
refuge.
fled the refuge. This is what social workers did to me. So now we're Bonnie and Clyde up the country. Police looking for us and we're none of the wiser. I have in my hand a social worker letter saying, here's £70, here's your petrol money, £70, you can go to Newcastle. The minute we left, they phoned the police. That's perverting the course of justice. A criminal offence. Wasting police time. Another criminal offence. And these social workers, they get away with it. And I want to share this with you. Because me and my missus on the next Facebook Live, we're going to reenact the Misty Barnes case live on Facebook. So you've all got the ins and outs of a duck's arse, because we are thrust passion for change. Because if the BBC are not going to air the Misty Barnes case, we're certainly going to show you and the Channel 4 show how we want to do it. Because we're not equipped for live. We went on the Victoria Derbyshire show and we smashed it, mate. We bounced off each other and we went at it, hammer and tongs. And Victoria Derbyshire was kicking me, touching me with her leg, and touching me, trying to put me off. That's what she was doing. And when I mentioned it on the Victoria Derbyshire show, about the council committing criminal offences, why aren't I back on the show the next day proving the fact? Just asking, Victoria.
Class cleansing.
Class cleansing. You know? But you'll threaten me and say you're going to put me in prison if I don't buy a TV licence. And I'll tell all you people, all that money from a TV licence, it's for lavish works of art in their offices. Paintings, lavish parties at the end of the year, champagne a lot for all the staff. That's where your licence payers' money goes. It goes to the Byfield payoff, millions of pounds, and the licence payers' money. That's where your money goes when you pay for a TV licence. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they want me to pay for a TV licence. If TV's for the people, why aren't I on TV? All you people living in a flat, you're all using the same transmitter, yet the BBC choose to charge you all independently for a licence. Ask yourselves, why aren't they doing that with the hotels? Part of class cleansing. One rule for them and one rule for you. These hotels will earn millions and millions of pounds on one room throughout the time they're there. One room. Why can't we build all these hotels independently for a licence for every room? They won't do it, will you, government? But you'll do it to all the families I shout for in the community in the UK. Ripping all them people off in flats, mate. Unbelievable. All using the same transmitter, yet you all pay. In hashtag Scouts Megaphone, man, do you want to tell you what I'd do? All you people living in flats, I'd make you all go off on a TV licence. That's what I'd do, to bring your household bills down. This government don't care about you, they care about themselves. Group 4, Serco, Randox. Just saying, sucking the lollipop of the establishment. And they'll let people out of prison, 75 of them. They're not meant to be getting out, but we'll let them out. Where's the accountability? But you'll get professional avoidance when there's an inquiry why them 75 people have been let out of prison. You'll get professional avoidance. Oh, well, that's okay. You'll get professional avoidance when it comes to the Grenfell Tower. Why haven't you got Billy Bragg down the road doing the inquiry for the Grenfell Tower? Why can't I do the Grenfell Tower inquiry? I'm more than capable. I beat my social workers in court and wiped the floor with the legal team of Forest Council in Baljet Baines, who was sent down the road packing. Just thought I'd say and share that with you, Facebook Live. Wiseman Lee offering me a job. I'm in therapy dealing with my childhood, dealing with my past, targeted by my establishment, no accountability. And I'm giving you transparency to what I've gone through, giving you a voice because you know it goes on, because it happens to you. Please keep your comments coming in. I've got a few here, but I've been rabbiting on.
Chatting.
I've read that one. Hello, Kaz, Diane Edwards, Rob Wyatt, hello, CJ, Emma Jane, Kelly. Paul or Alan, even though when my kids are fighting to come home, they won't let them for their well-being. So now they have lost mummy and daddy now, fuming with them. And Paul or Alan, what these foster parents are getting is extortionate amounts of money to look after your kids. And if reunification is in the pipeline, how are you meant to compete if you're on benefit? If you're working, being suppressed to pay your bills, probably using a food bank after you've worked all month. And I'll say it, if a children's coming home to be reunificated, this child goes home, and because it's been spoiled by the foster parents, the mum can't compete when it's reunificated, and the child wants to go back. Well, the child doesn't even want to go home because it's getting spoiled. And then the parents suffer and the grandparents suffer. And the foster parents are laughing. Week in, week out. Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. Of our money. And I've got to say to you, government, when a child's been taken as a looked after child off a family in my community, even more money's wasted because the family's still getting the benefits for the child. And I'm not saying for it to stop, but what I'm saying is there's holes in the social care bag all over the place, and it's alright for Tuesday mates to go, oh, we'll put £2 billion into it. You've got holes in the bag, young lady. What are you going to do about it? Would you fill a bucket if it had holes in, Teresa? Seriously, come on. Your social care is in crisis. I'm just about to sue your local government on social care at the highest level, being caught committing perjury to steal my kid. Address the issue, because you're not coming to see me about it. How many families has this social worker stole children from? She's been going for 13 years. Unbelievable. I'll take my hat off to my local team, my agent. I'll take my hat off to him. And it's just a shame the PR company I approached, why they didn't do more to get me out there. It's not my fault if I didn't go to university. It's not my fault I'm a failed looked after child. I've not committed no criminal offences to be heard. I've not urged no one to. I'm not causing political civil unrest on forced adoption. I'm going to legally commit treason on forced adoption, Theresa May, and bring down your social care to its knees. Because you're not addressing it. And I'll say to all you people, I'm going to be here next week Sunday Live, and I'm not going to leave it up. I want to GPS all our children. I want to raise money for children's mental health and have a rolling fund every day. It's come that time. Nonce watch. All them people that get sent to prison for nonce watch on hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man. I raise awareness on paedophiles going to prison. £40,000 a year it costs to keep these little wrong'uns in our jails, taking up prison spaces, so we can't have zero tolerance on crime, burglary, mugging old ladies. So I'll raise awareness. Fire away, babes. My missus is here to do nonce watch for me. Anybody that wants to come on hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man Live, let me know, inbox me. But I am going to take extra safe precautions of keeping my house or my location good, because I've been through the mill. Fire away, babes, the floor's yours. Show us your dance.
I'm still not going to dance. Right, first off, this week they're not very nice, I've got to warn people. Simon Glerham, 33, from Braintree.
Simon Glerham.
From Braintree. He was caught importing a 3-foot tall sex doll.
I've touched on this on a previous live. Sorry, son.
Possessing indecent images of children, which were 20 movies and 10 photos. He was sentenced to a 12-month custodial sentence, but that got suspended for 2 years. The second one is Jeffrey Paul Smith, 62, from Basildon. So Jeffrey Paul Smith, 62, from Basildon. More than 2,000 indecent images of girls aged between 4 and 14. He got a 9-month sentence, suspended for 18 months.
Suspended. I went to prison for handling stolen goods, mate.
And then we've got, for the first time, we've got a female on Nonce Watch this time.
Female?
Marie Dent, 44, from Clacton. So Marie
Dent, I don't know whether you might know her, Chris Griffin.
44, from Clacton. 4 counts of sexual activity with a 15-year-old boy.
She got caught by the parents.
The mum was in the other room and came in and caught them. She also had an indecent image of the boy on her computer. She was sentenced to 3 years. Now this one's a bit more disturbing. This is Edward Ryan. Edward Ryan, he's 67, from Harlow. He's a teacher, so obviously he may only be known as Mr. Ryan.
Uni.
4 counts of sexual assault against a child. Now we're talking primary school. 4 years in prison he got.
160 grand.
Can I just touch on one little bit about that? You've got a lady there, a woman there, 44. She's caught four counts of sexual activity with a 15-year-old boy. It's 3 years. He's mentally disturbed. I'm not going to go into it, but he's mentally disturbed, this young girl. Cuddling her teddy and all the rest of it. This little girl can't even watch TV programmes of people kissing and cuddling without breaking down in tears. And he got 4 years. He should have been given life, or more to the fact of what you say, they should be given him, not NHS services.
And no doubt when these people go to prison, they say they're in for burglary. Oh, I'm in for pinching a car. Yeah, no, put me on the landing, yeah. I'm in for pinching a car, or I'm in for burglary. So all you people, I'll take my hat off to all you boys behind the door, don't follow me.
That's the end of our nonce watch at the moment.
Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds to keep these in prison. £40,000 a year. Money to protect them when they come out. Stretching the NHS. And I'll say to you, Theresa May, what is it? Why can't we be sending all the paedophiles to the NHS labs? I think we should have a UK vote on it to cure children's diseases. Ease them spaces in the jails, ease the police resources, and put an ease on the NHS because they sew them up. Unbelievable. Thanks for that, babe. Julie Lamb, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Misty. Danny Tubby's joined. Hat off to you, Dan. I've been watching your lives on your fishing. You still make me laugh, you boys. Donna Lowe, well said. Jackie Khan, you just said it. They place paedophiles back in our community. That's future risk of harm. And I'll say, Julie Lamb, Jackie Khan, cheers, mate, for joining us. We should, on my last Facebook Live, I did state, we should be taking group action against our local authorities in every council area for putting our children at future risk of harm. Because they are the same very reason why the social services take our children, future risk of harm. And I'd like to say to all you letting agents, you estate agents doing business with paedophiles, you're putting our children at future risk of harm. And I urge anybody to do this because we need to have an alternative. Children need a voice. We don't want to clog up all jails with them. We don't want to do that. I'll take my hat off to you paedophile hunters, the children's bounty hunters. They should be taking them straight to the NHS, mate. Not putting them in the prisons. We want civilization back on our streets properly. We want the police to have respect on our streets. We want our NHS to be the best. We want the 80,000 positions filled in our NHS at the minute. People are leaving the NHS because they've worked all month. They took loads of abuse from pissheads going in the hospital, using a food bank at the end of the month. They've got sick of it and left. And I'll say to you, government, why do I have to pay for them booze drinkers? I only go down there once in a blue moon, get 2 John Smiths and a bottle of lemonade, and I have shandies. Why do I have to pay for that extra? Now, in hashtag Scouse Megaphone, man, I'd be making that pisshead, what I call them, thrust passion for change. I'd be making them pay for that police officer to keep an eye on them. I'd be making them pay for that nurse. I'd be making them pay for that ambulance. And I'd be making them pay for that hospital bed. And that would sure kick him up the arse to say, this is how you deal with booze drinkers. And it'll show him that you can't just go out and do what you want. You will have to pay to get that piss cleaned up. Contractors' money. Because that's the only way you're going to deal with booze drinkers. And the government, you've got your head up your arse. Unbelievable. But what the government would do, or these councils, they'll enforce PCSO officers to walk around your high street to fine you for dropping a litter or dropping a fag butt. That's not getting to the root causes of child poverty in the UK. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We need to share this shit. @OneMister on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube. Hashtag Scouse Megaphone, man. I'll give children a voice. I'd like to give a big shout going out to everybody in the States that follow me and put me through all the groups. Children need a voice all around the world, and they've got it in me. Hashtag Scouse Megaphone, man. I shout for everybody's children, because children need that voice. I want to say thanks to everybody in New Zealand, Australia, the Philippines, Africa. I'm getting a lot of friends in the Africans, man. I'll take my hat off to you Africans. They love me. Got a few friends down at Chafford. They love me. So, I'm a multicultural person. I understand it's a multicultural society. But if you commit a criminal offence in this country, mate, you should be deported. Clogging up our jails. We shouldn't be sticking them in centres and abusing them. Send them all home. They want to go home, Theresa May. These people in these centres who are foreign, they want to go home. Why can't we let them go home? Why can't we aid them to go home? Unbelievable the way they're being treated in this place. Unbelievable. We need to share this. Thanks, Jackie Khan. Donna, okay, new song idea. Donna, I grieve after every concert, so do my kids. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. And please, Donna, take a bit of advice from me. Next time you go to contact, please do not show no emotion in front of contact supervisors in the contact centre or in front of them children, because it will go down on contact report notes against you. So please do it for when you're at the bus stop, or when you're on the bus, or when you get back in the car. But Donna, my heart's with you, because I had to keep my missus in a sound mind going through contact and get her ready for court, because she was a broken woman till she got her child back. And I loved that woman so much, and it was so hard to do it, because you could just go and, what are you saying, you cheeky little prick, and you could just go and slap him, or you could deal with your missus's hurt. But when you're going through this, you can't deal with it. You can't deal with it. You've just got to help her grieve. Unbelievable the amount of anger for 10 months I had trying to get her in a fit place to go and win our child back. And it's something these barristers and these judges should take on board. The hurt that we're going through, the pain that we're going through, the suppression you have to not release your anger. And I'll say to all you barristers, and I'll say to all you judges, when a family comes before you, they don't mean what they're saying. I'm going to fucking do, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's the only way they can release their anger without throwing a punch. They don't mean, this family don't mean what they're saying. Whether they're wrong or right, I'll shove their corner. They are grieving. You've taken away a bonded child. I urge you, Theresa May, please, please. I've not murdered anybody. I've not committed no offences to get in public limelight. I've not done it. I'm not a murderer. Why can't the Justice Secretary deal with me? I understand you've got things to deal with, but Kenny Noy going to an open prison? What about me? I've not committed no offences. Dawn Cock, thanks for joining us. You're doing real good, Jack. Thanks a lot for that. Kaz, I like to know what kicks these social workers get off to just take a child from parents that are innocent. And I'll say it, and I'm going to say it again. It is a form of class cleansing. And when that child leaves the care system, they will target that child and go after them and their children. They did it to me. It is class cleansing, part of suppression. You're a walking wallet and an ant to the Queen. And I'd love to be a politician. Done an electric shock. I'll take my hat off to you, girl. Kaylee Marie Morgan, Chris Griffin, I like you. Kaz, I hate social workers. Half of them ain't got kids. And I'll say to you, Kaz, go to your local council, put a complaint in and go through the complaints process. They failed you as a looked after child. I'm not going to go into it. Take it to stage 1, take it to a stage 3, through the complaints process, go to the panel on the stage 2, get an adjudication and take it further. Take it to the Ombudsman. You was failed. And take civil action against that local authority, which I think is halting. Thanks a lot, Kaz, for joining me. Linda Miller, how are you? Linda Miller, I'm sound as a pound, like they say back in Liverpool. Now, that's my roots. We never walk alone. I love my accent. You know, I love it. And I'm proud of it. Linda Miller, I'm sound as a pound. CJ, what is the age that a child can stand in court? They will never listen to the child. So it doesn't matter what age this child is. The child won't be listened to because there's children in care screaming to be heard. I want my mum. I want to go home. 13, 14, 15. I want to go home. I want to go home. Why aren't these children being heard? I'm an advocate. I'm not a court advocate, a court-appointed advocate. I don't work for the establishment. I'm a self-appointed because I've got a kind heart advocate who specialises in social care. Centres around forced adoption at its best. Smacked my local establishment right across the face, mate, and took my child back off them. So I'm an advocate to people in court. And if I'm an advocate, I would like to ask the government and social services and councils up and down this country, why as an advocate, why can't I speak to the child going through the 26-week court process? Why can't I do that? Why isn't the advocate allowed to speak to the child who's helping the father or the mother going through the 26-week court process? Is it because the child doesn't want to... You can't give the child a voice. I thought children's safety was sort of paramount. Why have we got to listen to a Kafkas worker? The Guardian? Why have we got to do that? Why have we got to take it as gospel that the psychiatric assessment is gospel and is not copied from the social worker's final statement of fact? Why have the social workers got to make these families feel vulnerable, Theresa May, to the point where there's loads of voluntary services involved? Now they look vulnerable. Let's get them to the final trial and we're sweet. Get a reaction that just peppers it up. Seasons it for us. Adopted. Unbelievable, Theresa May, what's going on in this country. And you choose to ignore it. You choose to ignore it, Theresa May. And I'll say to you, you know, £1.3 billion. These MPs, is that Theresa, around there on, protecting tuition fees. Jeremy Corbyn, on the other side of the coin, he's promising money from all over the place, mate. All over the place. And I'll say to you MPs, there's no accountability for all this spending. There ain't. and the auditors of Parliament, the DCLG. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's a money racketeering scheme, social services, right across the board, right up to the barristers. They don't care whether you do or you don't. And you're damned if you do and you don't. And that's just the way it is. It is what I'll say it is. And my missus will echo my words.
Class cleansing.
Thank
I was
you very
right.
much. I'll take my hat off to Majid Nawaz. Love listening to him on the radio. I absolutely love that geezer to bits. I love listening to him. And what they do is protect the tuition fees, 1.3 billion.
Why? Why?
Because they're the creators of the jobs to the snobs. Social services, creators, job creators for the people that leave uni.
Good example of actual class cleansing, thinking of that.
Fair
Look
enough.
at the girl who's just been done for stabbing her boyfriend in a violent rag.
Oh, she's
She
a good
hit
character.
it. She's a future heart surgeon, so we better let her off, or else look what could happen.
Has she got
might
children?
attack someone.
Has she got children?
Exactly. I'd like to know. What happens if she's in a bad mood while she's in surgery? Oh, don't worry, family. She'll be a good surgeon one day.
I'd like to say to you, mate, please think twice before you roll out this universal credit. Because my fan base is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger the minute you do. Because your social services are probably sitting there waiting to pounce on these families when universal credit's rolled out. There's already families losing their children because of it. Unpaid rent, falling behind, evicted. Here's your letter from the bailiff, going down to the council. You've made yourself voluntarily homeless, you've not paid your rent. No, it's because of universal credit. Bollocks, social workers. This is what's going on in the UK, Theresa May. And you can turn your blind eye to it all you want, because I'm just going to keep knocking on the door, Theresa May. You know? Doing a U-turn on the tuition fees and the dementia tax. And I'll say that, Alan Sugar. What you put down on your manifest, you go against it, mate. It should be a criminal offence. And if we've got a Lord Alan Sugar saying stuff like this, why aren't we doing it? This is a geezer that's worked hard and got himself up there. Unbelievable. Lord Beecham. Lord Foulkes. What do you think of MP Jackie Dole-Price? Forced adoption. Class cleansing at its best. I'm not going to call it child trafficking no more, because that's not what it is. It's class cleansing, forced adoption. And I'm going to say it every week, week in, week out, because we're a different class. From the minute social workers walk in your home, no thank you, I don't want to drink. Scabby cups. Oh no, I don't want to, no, I'm alright standing up, thanks. Smelly sofa. And they'll wipe the feet on the way out. And then when they get back to the office, create loads of bullshit. Oh, they were aggressive. The house was atrocious. There was dog shit on the floor. There was windows smashed, holes in doors. He was aggressive. She was evasive. This is what they do. He did it to me. The Conservatives, mate, they was all round me in the 2015 election. And I'm going to echo Andrew Moore's words. They're like rats in a sack. They are, for their own elite. And I'll say this. Come on, Boris. Come on, Boris. Let him have it. My missus loves you. Boris Johnson, I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, not in that sort of way, I just think he's funny.
Where's the hod? He did carry that case with disrespect today, the red case. Boris Johnson, that is not a way to carry a professional case. Unbelievable. It looked like you had a Makita drill inside it, the way you were carrying it, on your way to go and put your boots and your high vis on. So I think, Boris Johnson, you should have a little bit more respect for your role. Please join me next week. Hashtag Scouse Megaphone Man. I'm going to start winding it up tonight. Paula Allen, even when my kids are fighting to come home, they won't let them for their well-being. So now they have lost mummy and daddy, now fuming with them. Nick Jacobs, hello Jack. Hi Jack's missus. Nick Jacobs said hello to you, babes.
Hello.
You can submit me comments are frozen. Lydia shared in Pembrokeshire. Thanks a lot, Lydia. My hat off to you. Jackie Khan, Bob Marley quote: "Get up, stand up, fight up for your rights." Thanks a lot, Jackie Khan, for that, mate. Nick Jacobs, top geezer. You are Misty. Hi Jack. Hi Jack's missus. Nick Jacobs said hello, babes.
Hello.
Thanks a lot for Nick Jacobs for that. Paula Allen, when are you on here next? As I keep missing your live feeds apart from this one. Paula Allen, 9 o'clock every Sunday night live is a hashtag Scouse Megaphone Man night. Sunday is a politics day, is a hashtag Scouse Megaphone Man day. So 9 o'clock, Paula Adams, share it with all your friends. If you see me during the midweek, it's because of an emergency Facebook Live, and it's just me connecting with my work engine and my Facebook viewers. If you see me during the week, that is what that's about. I do not send that midweek one onto government. The weekend ones I do. Dawn Cook, thanks for joining us. They don't want him talking, I think. Dawn Cook, I don't know what's going on. The comments are frozen. Sometimes my screen goes black. But they don't want me talking and they don't want me getting out. But I am recording this, and one way or another this video will go out tonight on Facebook and YouTube and go onto Twitter and be sent to number 10 and government direct, like I do with all the rest. If they don't want to address the issue, I will keep barking and barking, and the rest of it leaves it down to you, because I'm your voice. I'm not going to make no decision when the government want to speak to me. They're due to want to speak to me. I'm not going to make no decision. I'm going to go along and I'm going to go listen to what they've got to say. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to share it with my Facebook engine, my Facebook Live forced adoption, because this is a cleansing, a class cleansing. Using our children to do it, creating jobs, making a whole load of mess for the police, stretching their resources. They can't cope with the 17-year-old boys. They're sick of it, squeezing their budget, all down the NHS, pissed out reds. It's a mess. Social services leaving all the old people in the beds, bed sores, selling all their assets to get care, battered in their care homes. You've got paedophiles who've been in uni, setting up care homes. That's what's going on in this country. Thanks a lot, Dawn Cockcuffs. Dawn, they are playing games, I think, and they are playing games because they don't want me getting out there. The best thing you need to do is share this shit. Because if they're not challenging me in this, there must be some truth in it. Not one visit from the police in 5 years. Not one visit from an MP in 5 years. What's going on there then, Mr. Barnes? I'm being followed by Donald Trump's press agency on Twitter. I've got some influential people that like me, and I'm thankful for all them people that have helped me in the last few days. Thank you so much for the inbox of all. Well done, keep your head up. Well done. I'm in therapy, it's hard. And I'm going to stay here remaining as your voice. I'm going to start closing it down for the Facebook Live tonight.
Just one more because you'll like that one.
Lydia, it went off. I support Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. Glad no bastards are grinding you and your missus down. The social workers couldn't even do it. Who's going to grind us down? Don't get it, you know. I don't get it with a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know. Nothing's going to grind me down because the government know I'm here week in, week out, and they're not going to grind me down. So I'd just like to say, Lydia, we never walk alone. We're proud of our accent, we're proud of where we're from, we're resilient people as people from Liverpool. We was dragged up, people my age from Liverpool. First up, best dressed. And we're resilient people, we're funny people, and we don't give in. And you should know that from the Hillsborough inquiry. Hence why I would never ever go in the sun. The PR company that done my press release offered me to go to the sun. I said no. I'm a Scouser, not a tit. So thanks a lot for that, Lydia, and I'm not going to let the government grind me down. Or my missus. My missus is so happy, she can't be any happier. Reason being, I brought a child home. All you people, all you women out there, you go to hospital to have a child. I go to court. I've saved 3 children. I could be possibly saving 2 more, but I'm not going into it. Please join me, or I have. Please join me, 9 o'clock, hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man next Sunday, 9 o'clock. Follow me on Twitter at @OneMistyBarnes. Follow me on YouTube. Please share this, please. Thanks for everyone in the States who's joined me. Australia, Philippines, New Zealand, Africa. I love you. It's a revolution. There are children, your children.
Talking about a revolution sounds.
The poor will rise. No ethnic no cleansers.
Class.
No class cleansers. Charity shops in our high street like you don't believe. Food banks.
Crying the doorsteps of those armies of salvation. Wasting time.
And the other boy lies
Sitting around.
waiting for a promotion. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds. Let me see them hearts beat up.
We're gonna rise up.
Get their chance. Please share this.
We're gonna rise
Please share
up.
this.
Take what's there. Don't you know you better run, 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 run.
All children have a voice.
Oh, I said you better run, 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 run,
Run, run.
So big thank you to Nick.
Big thank you, Nick.
She knows why.
Thank you.
I started to turn.
Talk about a revolution. Move now. Finally the table are starting to turn. Talk about a revolution. Move now. Talk about a revolution. Move now.
Standing in the middle of the line. Crying the doorsteps of the line.
I'm a doer for you. Young boy like me, sitting around, waiting for a promotion. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds. And finally the tables are starting to turn. Talk about a revolution, moving on.
Finally the tables are starting to
I'm happy for you people. Talk about a revolution, moving on. Moving on. Join me next week, 9 o'clock, hashtag Scouts Megaphone Man. See you all soon, love you.